Welcome back to Hidden Heights Farm. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. It's a very sunny day.
Good job. So you heard it from Kaya, guys. Welcome back. And today, me and Miss Kaya are going to do some work in the garden. We've been so busy lately with everything else and trying to enjoy some days here and there, relaxing. We've kind of abused the garden this year. We've got to get in here and weed our squash beds more than anything. And check the other beds. There might be some weeds and stuff in the tomato bed. But we are recruiting some helping hands here on the farm.
Yep.
This is something we have not done, but I'll show you guys here in a minute when we walk over here to these squash beds. The dadgum squash beetles has already started laying eggs. And unless you can stay out here all the time and crush their eggs and kill all the bugs and all the adults, these things hatch and they start killing your plants so fast. The worms get up inside the stem and it just drains all the liquid or the nutrients and all that from the stem, dries them up, and the whole plant dies. So what we got here is, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it is a here, hold this for me. Hold it right there so I can Nature's Good, guys. Green lacewing eggs, 1,000 per hanging release bag. So I know you can't hardly see, but there's little eggs in here for this insect. And what these are, green lacewing, it's like a little, I don't know what you consider them. I'll try to put a picture right here. But what they are these bugs, and they're very beneficial for gardens and stuff like that. They eat a lot of the bad bugs like aphids and all kinds of other bad insects that eat on our vegetable plants. And I have seen several reports online that says that these little, the larvae from the green lacewings will go after the little squash bugs, like the ones that just hatch. And I'm gonna try to find a picture of these green lacewing larvae as well, because when they're just hatched, they look like little crocodiles. And I guess they are some bug-eating dudes, and they just go after all the little squash bugs that just hatch out of the eggs, and I guess they just devour them and eat them up. So we're gonna recruit these guys to do a lot of the workforce, so we don't have to come out here and try to kill all these daggum squash bugs, because these things, once they start, they will take our squash and zucchini over, and then they'll move over to our cucumbers. And even last year we sprayed all kinds of organic stuff on there and it still didn't work real good. And I think we had to plant 2 or 3 times last year. We had to replant the squash and zucchini seeds because the squash bugs come in and if you don't stay on top of them, they eat your plants up. So me and Kai's gonna get some tools. We're going to start weeding this garden out a little bit, and then we're going to hook up our drip irrigation and set the timer up and all that. So you ready to get busy and help me? I appreciate your help today.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so we are out here at our summer yellow squash bed. This is all summer yellow squash, and yes, I do have the plants planted way closer than normal, because every once in a while you get seeds that just does not germinate, and these plants are way too close, like I'm saying. But we're going to try something new here. Like I said, the last 2 years that we planted these things, we only got a couple weeks harvest off of them before the squash bugs moved in, and they were dead. So, you know, if this happens again, no big deal. You know, we'll have plenty of squash plants in here. These things won't even get big enough to, you know, to kind of take over the bed from each other. But looky here, we already got these squash bugs. That's the eggs right there. So what you got to do, you're supposed to come in here like this, Kaya. If you see these little eggs, see these on the plant? You come in here and you crush them like that. You just crush them like that, and it kills them, because what they do is the beetles come in here and they just destroy the plants. Okay, I see some on some other plants, but what we're going to do first is we're going to start going through this garden. And look, see this right here? This is grass. That's grass. That's like a crabgrass. We don't want them in our garden beds. You see what the squash plants look like? They're these big green plants right here. This right here, anything that don't look like these plants, we want to pull it up, just like this. Grab it as far as you can down towards the dirt and rip it up where the roots and everything come up, okay? Alright, so we're going to get busy doing this, and then as soon as we get done, we'll hook up our irrigation.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Alright guys, so Kai and I just got this squash bed weeded. Now we're going to move over to this zucchini bed. And we got some different kind of squash over here. I can't remember the name, but you guys can see these zucchini are already putting on vegetables. Can't wait for that. Get them on the griddle. But first, Kaya spotted something over here. Come here and pick them. Let's try some. You want to?
Tomatoes.
She found some of these sun sugar yellow tomatoes. Go ahead and pick them. Look like the bird's already got one of them. Go ahead and pick them and we'll try some.
Ooh, that one just fell.
It's alright. Looks like the bird got that one, didn't it? Go ahead and pick it and throw it out on the ground.
Okay.
We got a few weeds in this tomato bed and we need to go through, and these tomatoes are starting to grow so fast. We need to come back through and put all these vines up inside this tomato cage. Alright, you ready to try one? Let me try one too. Oh.
5-second rule.
5-second rule.
1, 2.
Alright, let me see one. Here, you get one. You take the big one. Ready? Hold on. Ready? One. Is it clean? Alright. What do you think? Dude, these are awesome.
Really good.
Tastes like eating candy. That's our first tomato of the year. Don't tell Mom and Caleb. You want this one? You can have it.
They're sour.
No, they're pretty good though. Alright, so let's finish weeding this bed over here. And then here is all our irrigation lines we got to hook up. And we got to hook up our main water hose over here and hook up the timer. We'll talk about that when we get there. Oh, alright. This bed's going to take us a little bit. You ready to do it? Getting hot, isn't it? Alright guys, Kaya found a little squash beetle.
It's
Squash
coming
bug.
out green.
Ew, it's got green blood. I told her to squish all these little squash beetles that she finds. Because these guys will start laying eggs and then they take over the squash, zucchini, and cucumbers.
What? How is it not dead?
They're tough little boogers. It'll die. Just squish it as good as you can and keep going.
I'll squish it with my hand.
Alright, let's keep going. See any more. Kill them, okay? Okay, so you got some dirt right here on your face. So we went through the zucchini bed, got mostly all the weeds and grass out of there, killed several squash bugs, and how many eggs did we squish? A bunch. Good job. Thank you for helping me. You want to go in the house and get a drink now? You can. Thank you.
I'll get you a drink.
It's all right. You get some ice water, and I'll come get it in just a second if you bring it outside. So anyways, we got the squash beds ready, zucchini beds ready. None of the beds have been hooked up to the water irrigation system, so I'm gonna go get all the parts to do that and start hooking that up, and then we'll release these bugs here in a little bit, or the eggs. I'll read the instructions a little better and figure out how to do it. Let me go get the parts and we'll hook up the water. All right guys, got the timer, we got some Y connections, We got the hose down here, and we got this one going. This drip line goes out to Rachel's flower bed out front. So that's why we got these couple of these Ys here. And we'll go ahead and take loose the main water hose I got going out there right now. So the type of timer we like to use is made by Orbit, and we actually bought it online on Amazon. And it is waterproof, so it is made to go outside. And I'll put a link down in the description to the one we use. It's very simple to program. Some of them are pretty difficult, and this one's very easy. I'm not going to show you guys all that, but it does have a lot of different settings. You can have it to set to water your plants multiple times a day, how long per time that it kicks on. And basically the way this works is it sets here, and whenever you have it programmed to kick on, say you want it to kick on at 7 o'clock in the morning, it opens up a valve at 7 o'clock. If you set it for 10-minute run time, it'll run for 10 minutes, and then it closes the valve. And then, you know, you don't have to worry about rushing home from work, watering your garden and all that. You can just have it on a timer, and it's good to go. And one good thing about it is, I've been guilty of this a lot of times when I'm watering the goats or the animals. Some of the bigger tanks and stuff, you know, you got to put them on, and you turn it on, say, oh, I'm going to walk away for a minute. Well, how many times have you guys forgot and ended up with a expensive water bill? I know I have several times. So this really helps to cut down and avoid from having that problem. All right. And the reason I do the Ys, that allows you to have two connections, and each one has a valve so you can turn it on. Because if I wanted to just hook up a hose to my water line here, I wouldn't be able to run it through this unless it's turned to the on position. So you just pretty much leave your water on all the time, hook this up. If you want a water hose, you can use it any time just to go grab and spray something down. Just flip this valve on and it's good to go. I'll go ahead and hook this up for Rachel's plants in the front flower bed. And it actually kind of saves water. And if you guys use the irrigation system like I have, you can get the different emitters and stuff. And you know, you can dial it down to where you do like a gallon of water per 10 minutes, something like that. You can kind of control the flow rate and how much water you give your plants, so you're not really overwatering them. I know last year was the first year we started using the drip irrigation, and our plants did wonderful with it. I think we got it set for 7 in the morning and 7 at night, and it works really well. And then here, what I'm going to do is hook up the hose that we just spray down stuff with here and there, fill the dog waters and all that stuff up with. And now I'm going to go run my irrigation lines through all my raised beds before I turn this thing on, and we'll make sure everything's hooked up and there's no weird leaks or anything. So we got our drip lines installed in all our raised beds. Got them all strung out. There was a couple that had some of the little plastic emitters on there. They were cracked, so I went ahead and replaced them. I don't really like the emitters as much. These are the emitters right here. And what I was saying is, I really prefer the line that's not solid. It's the perforated. It's got the holes every 6 or 8 inches, and it's more like a soaker hose. Every 6 or 8 inches, it just waters right there. And that works out really good for raised beds, because a lot of times you space your plants out 6 or 8 inches or whatever, 12 inches, 18 inches. Your spaces come out just about right where your holes are, and then you're not wasting a lot of water all in your bed. You're getting those roots just right there on those plants. So we got all that done. Let's go over here. I've got the water hose attached. I'm gonna go turn it on and check for any major leaks, and make sure everything's working and all the valves are turned on. And the nice thing about this little Orbit timer, the little water valve timer, is you can override it. So I got it set to come on twice a day right now, but if we want to test it, or say, hey, I want to water my plants in the middle of the day while you're home, you can come over here and let's see. Oh, just do manual here. Do manual, and I'm going to let it run for 10 minutes. You'll hear it kick on. So the way we have it hooked up is the water hose comes from over there on the side of the house. It hooks up to this inlet here, and the way I got it plumbed is it goes to every bed, jumps over, and it comes back over here. But I can turn access off to any bed I want to with these valves, but it will still go through to every other bed. So this drip irrigation system is a lifesaver. Saves tons of time. It is so easy to set up. It takes a little time to do it, but once you got it done, it really does pay for itself. So these tomatoes are going to get watered exactly what they need. You won't be overwatering them. You won't be wasting money on water. Same thing with the squash. This bed has the actual soaker hose. It has the little inlets, little holes every 6 or 8 inches. I don't know if I can pick that up or not. Let's see here. But this type of hose is actually my favorite. You can see it's just dripping there. And it will provide these squash plants with plenty of water. Squash actually need a lot of water. So it's hard to overwater them, but I really enjoy this irrigation system. Alright. So that's all working good. Now it's time to get to these guys. Time to release the eggs. Alright guys, it's time to release the help or the army, whatever you want to call it. And let's read this here. So it says target pest, aphids, mealybugs, thrips, and spider mites. And although it does not say squash bugs on here, I did read online to where these things, when they start hatching and they start getting hungry, the little larvae start growing and they start like seeking out any kind of bug they can pretty much eat. And supposedly these little baby squash bugs are one of them. So it says here, peel open to line, and it has red arrows right here. So we're going to peel it open and you hang it on something in the infested area. And although I do have tomatoes over here, I didn't see a lot of aphids on there. There is some, but right now our primary focus is to try to keep these squash bugs at bay in our zucchini and squash bed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and peel this open, and I'm probably going to face it to the east because I don't want it getting too hot inside this little plastic bag. It does say you may store up to 14 days between 50 and 60 degree Fahrenheit. Peel open the red arrows above and hang slow release bag from plant branches in around infested area. Do not lay flat on soil. Leave release bags on plants no less than 10 days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these plants, and you can see here we didn't get all the eggs. You can see right here we got some eggs. We'll just squish them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this plant. I'm going to break this leaf off right here. And what this is going to do is allow me to hang it. It's got this little hole there. I'm going to peel it open. Okay, so I got it peeled open. And I'm just going to put this right there. So it's kind of in the shade. And hopefully we'll see these things emerge and they'll come out and start eating the bugs. And I can only imagine that they will go to these other beds. I don't think they're just going to stay right here. I don't know because I've never done this before, but I have seen good results online on all the things I've read. And yeah, I purchased those on Amazon as well. And if anyone is interested, that company, they sell all kinds of different types of good bugs. They sell the praying mantises, ladybugs, a bunch of good predator bugs, you might say, that actually go out and seek out and eat all the bad bugs that grow in our garden. I'll leave a link down in the description for these green lacewing bugs. That one package, like I said, is supposed to have 1,000 eggs in there. So if they all hatch, I can just imagine 1,000 of those little bugs running around here. And I'm pretty sure they won't just stay on that one bed. I bet they'll go all throughout this garden and just start wiping out the bugs is what I'm hoping they'll do. Everyone I've read that left a comment or anything, they said that these things are like little crocodiles and they just seek out the prey and just go devour them and get rid of all the bad bugs. So that'll be very beneficial for any gardener, and maybe even if you just have flower beds, maybe something like that. But anyways, it's very important this year that we grow a garden and we do really good at it and have a bountiful harvest. You guys know the way the country's in today is not looking good. The whole world, you know, we can't rely on anyone else for food or anything else, because you go to the grocery stores now, they're low on meat, they're low on vegetables, imported produce, bananas, just everything. Seems like it's getting harder and harder to find. There's no guarantee the next time you go to the store, they're going to have the food you want. So, you know, I had Kai out here helping me, and I was explaining to her how important it is that when she's out here helping and learning things, that she, you know, tries to retain all the information, because one day, you know, she might have to rely on her own skills to raise food for her family. Same thing with Caleb when he's out here helping. I try to instill that in our children. You know, you can't always rely on grocery stores and everybody else for everything. So that's one thing that we try to preach to our kids, is how important it is to be self-sustainable. And right now when they see the news and stuff, which we don't let them watch the news a lot, they really understand. So I need to get inside and just get some nice water and get cooled off. And anyways, I will leave a link to the bugs down in the description if you guys are interested on purchasing the bugs on Amazon. My mouth's getting dry, I can't hardly talk. Besides the green lacewing bugs, they do have like praying mantises. They have ladybugs, all kinds of beneficial bugs that will help you out in your garden. So you don't have to come out here and try to kill all these bad bugs like aphids and the squash bugs and all that. So I'll leave a link down for the green lacewings if you guys are interested. You know, 1,000 eggs, that's quite a bit. Even if half of them hatch, I'd be happy. And I don't know, I need to look and see how long it takes for these things to hatch, because I need to come out here and see if I can't film it. I want to actually film one devouring like a squash bug or a little aphid or squash beetle or whatever. So anyways, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid to leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.